Hey guys, we're back for another road test, and today we're in Hendon. This is George's road test. If you want to check his mock test out, I'll put that in the link as well so you can check that out. And so we did a mock test a few weeks ago, and now this is his actual test where he passed. So I'm going to talk you through everything since we're not allowed to record audio on the video in the test. So coming out of here nicely, checking both left and right. Don't rush this bit because a lot of people do and only check the right side and then fail for not checking the left side properly, but George did that really well. Going through here nice and slow. So there's a lot of speed bumps around here, so you don't want to rush this bit. There are quite some harsh ones as well, and you've got a lot of pedestrians walking around too. So not so much this bit, but if you had to turn right just before there, there's a lot of pedestrians down there, so be very careful if they take you down that way. Just keeping it nice and slow. These bumps are really harsh. Probably can't tell that much on the video, but you do really feel them. Coming up to the end of the road. So here they could tell you to turn left or right, depending on what route they're taking. And let's see where they're taking George today. So you see that person cut the corner there. So George did really well to slow down and let him turn, because if he had gone to his position like that, that person would have been too close. So well done for that, George. It looks like his position turned right, so let's see which way he goes. Can't really see the sides, but sometimes this road can be really busy, so it's just a matter of being patient and waiting for a chance to go. And then it is off, turning right. So good acceleration there. So we had a little bit of practice before, and he was going a bit too quick on some of the bits, but on the test I think he must have done well, because he didn't get any speeding faults. So he actually only got 3 faults for this test. 2 for not checking the mirror when he changed speed, which might mean he braked and there was someone behind him who didn't check the mirror, and the other one was for positioning. So we'll see if we can find the positioning fault as we go through the video. Coming up to a fairly large roundabout. So here they could tell you to go left first exit or right third exit. So let's see, it looks like it's going towards the left, position left, because it's quite a big, it's like 2 lanes there basically. There's no line separating the two, but it's like 2 lanes. See, there's enough space for even the lorry on the side there to go next to him. You don't want to take up the whole lane there, so George did really well to position himself to the left properly, so that was really good. Giving that van a lot of space before going forward, which is very good. You don't want to get too close, because sometimes learners think that the person in front is going to turn quickly and get out of the way, but a lot of times they don't. So just be wary of that and give them plenty of room. So this bit is 30, but you're not going too fast here because there's a lot going on. There's a car in front of him as well, not going that fast. So even though if you see the 30 sign, don't get excited and put your gas down. You want to still think about what's going on around you. Is it the right time to be going fast? Is it the right time to be doing 30? If it's not, you got to kind of manage that by looking at what's going on around you. It's like here going around this bend, it's very sharp. Coming up to a crossing as well. You hear sometimes cars are parked up on the crossing, so you can't really see the sides properly, and George did really well to see that pedestrian there, because sometimes they can just look like they just come out of nowhere, so be very alert there. coming to the traffic lights here. So here normally the examiner won't tell you which way to turn, because there's a sign telling you you can only turn left there, you can't turn right, so they wouldn't tell you which way to go. And if you do ask them, you can ask them, but they'll just say to you, do what you think is best, and hopefully you do the right thing and go towards the left. I get asked if you should signal there, but I think you should signal. Just let pedestrians know where you're going as well. And there's usually a parked vehicle just by that yellow and blue vehicle, and then here you should be going to the left lane if it's safe. Yeah, well done, George. Very good drive so far. Because if you're in the right lane, there's a lot of people that will turn right at the lights here, and then if you're behind them, you're gonna get stuck, because most of the time they're gonna be going straight here on the test. They're not gonna be turning right towards that bit, so you don't want to be stuck behind those people. And lanes merging here, would you need to do a right mirror check, so then position yourself in the middle of the lane. And sometimes they'll turn right here. Let's see if they do that. Yep. So this is quite a steep hill as well, and then sometimes they'll get you to stop here as well. We haven't actually stopped here, so sometimes they'll get you to stop here before moving on again. And you can see there's a single yellow line on the left. You can stop there if they ask you to stop somewhere there. Okay, they've asked me to pull up on the right. Cool, doing a right reverse on this road. It's interesting because it's quite a busy road here. Let's see how he does here. So after the test, George was telling me that on this right reverse he was waiting for a pedestrian, and then the examiner asked him why he was waiting for a pedestrian. That was that on the pavement, because if you're not gonna affect how they are walking, or if you're not gonna get near them, you should just carry on doing the reverse if it's safe. So I wonder which pedestrian he was talking about. As you can see, it's still quite busy here. Cars going up and down. Yeah, pedestrians there just walking behind. So I guess that's the one they were talking about. Okay, another one there. So he's waiting for that other pedestrian that's behind. So I guess this is when the examiner, or maybe he was waiting for the cars actually, because cars coming from that side as well. Okay, this is quite interesting, because I've talked to another examiner and they said even if cars are coming from the other side, wait for them. But I'm guessing this examiner is a bit more lenient and they'd rather just get the maneuver done even if there are cars coming. I don't know, but I would always wait. Just if a car's coming from that side of the road and they just went past now, I would still wait for them to go past first, especially on this kind of road. It's quite narrow. Just to be on the safe side, wait for them, let them go past, and then check around again and then carry on. So I'm guessing he's done now. Maybe it's time for him to move on, or maybe he's still waiting around. Let's see what he does next. Yeah, it's time to move on again. Straight to his side, which is good. So you don't want to linger on the right side and drive along and then move over to the left afterwards. You want to go to the left pretty much as soon as possible, because that's the side that you drive on as you move off there. So well done for that, George. Going down towards a mini roundabout here. pretty sure they're gonna turn left. It's quite a nice day actually, compared to the last test that I feel that was filmed, which is I'm gonna post soon. I'll put the link up now. Actually, it was very rainy, so have a look at that, see what it's like to do a driving test in the rain. It was really horrible. The visibility was very poor, so have a look at that video when you can. He's waiting for a safe gap and then he's taking it, so the bus is coming out straight away. Yeah, that can be quite tricky for some people to deal with. So as soon as you turn, then you got a bus trying to come out of the bus stop, but George handled that really well there. You can see there the speed limit has changed now to 20 miles an hour. I think this is the first time it's changed since leaving the test center. Coming up to a set of lights, should be turning left at the next lights. Keeping a nice distance from the bus, which is very good. You want to be able to see what's going on in front of him, and also if in case he stopped to pick up pedestrians or passengers, should I say, you want to have space so you can go around him and see what's going on in front of him as well. So this is very good for George, what he's doing here right now. So it looks like there's a bit of traffic at the lights there. And you see sometimes buses will signal. Oh, okay, there's something in the way there. He's signaling to let people know that he's going to go around his van. So sometimes buses will signal when they blocked or something, just to let people know that they're not at the bus stop, so you don't try to overtake them. So watch out for those kind of signals as well. And for you to go around that van, you don't really have to signal. I think the bus was doing it just to make everyone around them know that they're not actually stopped at a bus stop. So even though our light is green to go, we can't squeeze past that bus because there's not enough space. But then once the bus moves forward a bit, yeah, still wasn't enough space, so George done really well just to wait a little bit until the bus moved forward and then carry on. So don't feel pressure to go just because your light is green. If there's no space to go through, there's no space to go through, so you just have to wait until that vehicle moves forward a bit, so you can then go past comfortably without squeezing through. Should be going straight at these lights, and so to do that you need to be in the left lane, so you'll be checking your left mirror and then position yourself in the left, and then keeping an eye on that light to make sure that you don't go through when it's red. So that car on the right should be turning right, but in case it doesn't, George should be checking his right mirror right now. And he's also got another lane next to him now, it's merging into one, so this would definitely be a time to be checking that right mirror, because you can see the car behind is positioned on that side as well, and sometimes people will try to zoom past you, and that's on that little bit there, so you want to check your right mirror just to make sure they're not doing that. Going up this hill, got a nice temple on the right there, but obviously you don't want to get distracted there. You want to stay focused on the road and not look at that beautiful building, and keep looking and concentrating on what you're doing, especially with those pedestrian crossing at the front here. Now this is going downhill. This is quite a steep hill down. They might get you to pull over here sometimes as well, but here you want to be really careful to control your speed, because the car can suddenly go really fast without you noticing, even without you pressing anything. So you've got to make sure you're controlling your speed with your brakes here. got a bus lane on the left there as well. So depending on the time, you can use that bus lane if it's the right time to use it. But then if you hear that you're turning right, and then obviously you want to move over to this lane here. Because I think at the traffic lights they're turning right. And you can see the sign on the left there telling us that we've got roadworks on the right after we turn. So that's something for you to pay attention to, because that might affect the way you turn. So look out for those kind of signs. I think the ambulance there slowed people down, so that's why no one was moving. And because it's been ages since the light went green, so you got to be careful as you go through to make sure that they're still green. But luckily they were. Then as I was mentioning before, roadworks, you see that straight away you got roadworks on the left lane. So that's gonna affect how you make that turn as well. So right now, at this time, George could have used the bus lane. I'm guessing that's where he got that fault from, for positioning normal driving. So he should have been actually in the left lane here from before, because that bus lane was open for him to use. They're doing a lot of building on the left there. I think they're refurbishing Sainsbury's. So sometimes you see some traffic like that. And you got the police bike blocking up traffic there, which is going to cause an interesting thing here. I think, okay, there's like a escorting that convoy that went to the left. And that white car is poking out as well. I'm guessing they came out maybe as the police bike came. So this will make things a bit interesting unless it gets sorted out before the light goes green again for George. We'll see. Yeah, around here there's a lot of these bikes, these police bikes around Hendon and Mill Hill, so be careful when you're driving around. I think they do a lot of training down there, and sometimes they're escorting people like VIPs and things. So just be mindful when you're going around there that these people are around. And you got police training there as well, like training to drive, training to do like chases and stuff. So just watch out for those guys too. Okay, it's been there for quite a while now. Just have to wait, I guess. I know some learners here will be thinking, yes, this is great, just killing time doing nothing. Yeah, because you're not driving around, so can't make any mistakes there. Okay, yeah, so they were escorting that van. I actually saw that van when I was waiting for George to come back. I saw them further down the road actually. So now that the police car's gone, it's like kind of like not every man for themselves, but we have to see what happens now with that white car. Because, okay, good, it's gonna move out the way. Otherwise that was gonna be a bit tricky. So it probably feels like a long light, but it's because you had to wait for that police bike, so that's fine. Then this lane here turns into a bus lane, and if you look at that blue board there, right now you should be able to use it still. You've got that red car doing some interesting undertaking there. So good, so he's using the bus lane right now, which is great, because at this time you can. But if it's not the right time, definitely don't use it, because you will get a serious for that. And then the van just poked out and is slowing down a bit, so George had to take action there. Well done. Should be taking the next road on the left. Very good. Lorry parked on the right, so right mirror check to go around. Then this road bends to the right, so you're just gonna have to follow it around towards the right side. And here there's an arrow on the right telling you this is still a two-way, because when you get over here it feels like it's a one-way street, but it's not. Okay, it's asking to pull over on the left behind another car, so this would be like the angled start, just testing that you can move off when there's a car parked in front of you. You don't want to get super close here, so about one car length away. Don't get really close, otherwise you're going to end up struggling when you're moving off again. So here's just a matter of waiting for when it's safe and then moving off smoothly, because you've got cars parked on the right as well, so you don't want to come out fast or swing out too wide, because you're going to end up getting too close to the cars on the right. But he did that really well. Now coming up to a junction where a lot of people fail here because they don't see that there's a give way sign here. They just try to go straight through, but there's a give way sign on the left, and there's a triangle and a floor sign as well. So you need to go slowly enough to check the right properly and then carry on. But some people have tried to just go through there without even noticing that there's a give way there, and obviously that would be a serious fault, because that's quite dangerous to do that. So if you go that way, just be careful. Look out for signs, look out for floor markings, all that kind of thing. Going past Hendon station on the left there. Maybe that car was a bit wide, so George slowed down a bit there. Slowed down quite hard actually, so maybe that's where you got that fault for the mirror check before slowing down, or before change of speed. So here, this bit here is normally quite easy. There's not much goes on around here. The road is nice and wide. People don't usually get in your way. There's no parked cars on either side. But then as you go further down, it gets narrower. So once you go through this bit at normal pace, I was just holding my breath there for that pedestrian, and luckily he saw them and stopped, so well done. Stopped a bit hard as well. Maybe that's why you got this other fault. They got two of those. You could have stopped a bit softer and closer to the line actually. And there was a car behind as well, so it's probably where he got that other fault from. Okay, pulling over on the left. So this bit will just be to drive on again. So this is the bit where it gets a bit narrower, because we've got cars parked on both sides now. So if something's coming through here, you've got to be very careful, especially if it's a large vehicle like a bus or lorry, or sometimes even a normal car going really fast. You've got to be very careful there, because there's not much space. And turning left at these traffic lights, going onto the dual carriageway. So this is basically the home stretch. Now you're going towards the test center now. So if you've done quite a lot of driving and you haven't made any like bad mistakes, and you get to this point, you're nearly home. So just concentrate, stay focused until they've told you to turn the engine off at the end of the test, obviously. So this light is very quick, so it's probably going to go red again, and this shit does. So be very careful here to not follow the other cars, and make sure that you stopped if it's red for you. And as you can see here, once you've gone through the light, you've got the giveaway line on straight away again, just before you enter the dual carriageway. So it's really important here that you check the right side before you actually enter the dual carriageway. Normally 9 times out of 10 there's nothing there, but if somebody was there, you'd have to give them way. It's quite a long light because you got it's quite a big junction. You've got cars coming from left, right, ahead of you, and some of them, they will have like individual, you know, their own turn to go. Like those cars now have got their own turn to go, then other car will have another side will have their own turn, and then now it's our turn. So sometimes it just takes quite a while. So here, just a quick glance to the right, make sure it's safe, and then once you get on here, start going a bit faster. So onto the dual carriageway going downhill, and then the speed limit changes to 50 here, but there's a traffic light pretty much straight away afterwards. So a lot of times it doesn't really make sense to speed up too much to try to go to like 50 miles an hour here. And speed, if you go in Hendon test center, most of the time here you can be turning left to go back towards the test center, especially if you've been out for a while. Turning left, keeping an eye on that light, still green, which is good. And then here the speed limit changes to 30, which a lot of people miss that sign on the left there because you're concentrating on the turn, but it's back to 30 again. And here the examiner will tell you taking the second road on the right because it's very close to this first road here on the right now. So once you go past here, mirror mirror, signal right, and then position yourself just like the way George has done, which is good, and make a turn. Nice, well done. So this is the bit when you're thinking like, oh, did I do it? Did I pass? What mistake did I make? Or you could be thinking, yes, I smashed it. But you don't really know until they tell you, to be honest. So yeah, this is the bit when your brain starts to go into overdrive, thinking about the possibilities that might have happened on the test. But yeah, luckily George passed, so not really much else to say, guys. I think I'll end it there. So join me on the next one. Bye.